Is this generation going to be as inept with future tech as boomers are today? Yes, that's how it always goes. Y'all struggle with fine-tuning the adjustments on your HoloLink. We're some ho. In general, I like a lot about Gen Z, but as a group they are not good at troubleshooting tech. They are probably already as inept or more so at many things. They can work their phones very well, but proper computers, I've been amazed how bad many young people are at using Windows or Mac. Gen Z kids apparently don't understand how file systems work. Futurism.com The bite Gen Z kids file systems. You can see articles like this everywhere. Basically, kids don't know how to use computers. They grew up with phones and tablets, maybe Chromebook, and often don't use Windows or Mac until they get their first job. Boomers invented most of the tech we enjoy today. I think tech literacy has been and is going to get worse. I think tech is like cars. In the early days, you had to know everything going on inside the engine if you wanted to drive it. You had to manually adjust the air-fuel ratio, spark advance, and a whole lot of things that most people these days never think about. These days, you can drive a car for years at a time and never personally pop the hood. Your mechanic may get in there 3 or 4 times a year, but you, the driver, don't have to. The last useful generation will be us, X-Gen. We are going to stay forever since most millennials and newer generations will never develop the analysis and troubleshooting skills to fix things. They were so busy mocking boomers that they forgot about us. Yes and no. There was an interesting comment a while ago that you were being led instead of creating your own internet experience. AI algorithms are showing you content, not teaching you how to interact with it. But at the same time you have more info that you can look up. You will have a higher minimal standard than boomers, but the info will be far easier to find. I work with a few older Gen Z, Zennials, whatever the hell mid-20s are now. It actually astounds me how much difficulty they have with desktop computers. They can make a semi-well-edited video on their phone that I had to take an entire college course to learn how to do, but navigating Windows Explorer, connecting a printer to their workstation, hotkeys and opening Task Manager, wizardry, technomancy, the work of fifth-dimensional overlords even. Meanwhile, yeah, I'm not as good at working on a smart device, but just give my old ass a second. My fossilized by CRG screen eyes can't see the tiny spots on the glass I'm supposed to tap. Edit. So actually I guess yes, to answer your question. I struggle with future tech. I like buttons and the future doesn't have any. Yes. There comes a tipping point where you can't keep up with your life's mounting responsibilities and learn the complexities of a technology. When AI fully integrates into our work, it will leave a generational learning gap. Much worse if my experience with their problem-solving abilities is any indication. They already are. They generally have no idea what to do when their shit doesn't work. They also haven't had to actually adapt to massive changes in how technology is used or handled. It's all been the same 3 interfaces with touch screens or the same basic controller layouts. They even get confused when the power buttons or volume switches are in different spots. I think some of the older Zoomers have gotten a little better, but they are still nowhere near the tech savviness of millennials or younger Gen Xers. Already are getting there, meaning they are used to apps already being made for them and such. They don't understand the tech behind it or how to build on it. Hell, my own kid called the movie theater last week. She's 17 to see if she's allowed to see a rated R movie. She could have Googled it or asked ChatGPT. Going against the grain here, but many modern software engineers would be terrible engineers 30-40 years ago without the internet as a crutch to look up answers or with having to deal with things like memory management. And before you say it doesn't matter, a lot of government and financial systems run on COBOL, a language initially created in the 1950s. Many who know that language are retired or have died. So I'm less worried about people knowing future tech and more concerned with keeping the systems that run the entire economy up and running or moving them to something else. The thing is, none of us can predict what kinds of new technologies will be invented within the next 50 years or so. The boomers could never have imagined that one day, everyone would walk around with a small portable calculator, camera, telephone, etc. that can also do a million other things and has all human knowledge that we've ever discovered right in our pockets. If something like that can be invented within the lifetime of a person born in the 1940s, there's no reason to think that something else won't be invented within the lifetime of millennials Gen Zs that's just as revolutionary as the smartphone, if not more so. We will definitely be confused by whatever comes next, because it will be something that none of us could have really imagined. I already think the music sucks, so probably . Yup, you will find that the younger person trying to teach you does it faster than you can learn. Boomers can understand the stuff. I had a DOS 3.3 in 1989, but I have a lot of problems comprehending state-of-the-art. And that, dear millennial, is your future fate too? Great question. I grew up with the very first PCs, Apple computers, IBM PC, Commodore game platforms, etc. Myself and most of my friends were very into computers. We all built our own machines from parts we ordered through PC magazines. That went on through the early 90s. Then technology stagnated and I lost interest. Then it seems there was an exponential jump in technology with the smartphone, and I fell way behind for a number of years. At 65, I feel I have a handle on things again. But I bet you will experience a quantum leap in technology in your lifetime. At least I hope you do. I honestly don't know. I like to think, well, do better. But I tried going on TikTok and it pissed me off. My two grandmas were polar opposites of each other. My one grandpa had cell phones, game consoles, she set up her own internet, she had multiple computers. My other grandma, oof, she had to call us to help her understand how to get the cable satellite to work after public broadcast television got canned. Lol. We all have potential. Not everybody has the patience, or maybe the motivation to unlock our potential though. This kind of applies to everyone. For everything, all you gotta do it try. And when you fail, keep trying. D failure is learning? Depends on how much tech changes. We have an advantage in that, with my generation as an example, we started with DOS floppy disks and NES and have experienced countless generations of tech since. Seems like it would make us more adaptable. Boomers didn't even start with computers at all. They'll go backwards. I just saw a video of grade school and high school aged kids using typewriters. It will be a similar experience for some, just as it is for some today.